Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. This is a update video of my job that I applied for in Alabama. I told you I was going to do this video, so here I am. So I interviewed for the job a few days ago, and to be quite frank, I'm still a little tired from that trip. But anyways, did I get the job? At this point, no. Now he told me that I was among the top 6 applicants for the position, which doesn't mean crap to me because I don't know how many openings that this company has. So if there's 6 of us and there's only one opening, being on the top 6 doesn't mean much of nothing. I was hoping that I would know something, like whether I get the job or I didn't get the job, but he gave me the classic that there's other applicants that they're going to interview, and it would be about a couple of weeks before I hear anything. Now, if I don't hear nothing during the 2 weeks, he said that's a good thing. But, you know, and at this point, at the same time, I'm still pulling to get a decent job and go back down there. I'm also to the point where I would be perfectly okay here in Indiana. Now, as I've been telling you guys, Indiana is a good place to live. I mean, the climate up here is a little cooler. I mean, colder than what I desire. But, it's not the worst. I mean, it's not like Wisconsin or Minnesota cold. But anyways, I'm to the point where, and the reason why I was wanting to go back to Alabama was because, for one, for warmer winters, and two, the region of Alabama where I lived was less than a couple of hours from the beaches off of the Gulf of Mexico, and plus I was close to the Florida Panhandle. But I'm to the point now where I would be perfectly okay staying here in Indiana and selling my house down there. And then once I sell my house down there, I would become a snowbird and I would probably take off and go to maybe Arizona during the winter time. And I've already been playing that idea in my head. So I'm to the point where, yeah, if I got the job, it would be nice. But if I don't get the job, I ain't even tripping. I mean, he told me it would be a couple of weeks before I hear anything. And I'm thinking, okay, that sounds good, kind of, sort of. But someone who you're truly interested in, why would you want to leave that person hanging for 2 weeks? To me, that doesn't quite make a lot of sense. So at this point, I am not holding my breath in terms of getting the job. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. If I get the job, great. If I don't, hey man, I'm good. I mean, I still got my job working here in Indiana. I got my house here. So once I sell my house down there, then financially I'll be a lot better off. So that's just pretty much how I look at all that. And I also wanted to make this video because I wanted this experience that I'm going through to kind of be an educational tool for some of you folks out here, especially some of you people that are a little younger, like maybe in your late 20s and 30s. Maybe you got a little bit of money, you're out here looking to buy a house, and you want to move to Florida, you want to move to the Carolinas, you want to move to Tennessee, but you're discouraged because you can't find anything in those areas that are within your price range. So what a lot of you guys have been doing is a lot of you guys have been hyperextending your financial means. Many of you guys have been, and many of you guys have just barely been living below your means. Many of you have been living beyond your means the last few years when it comes to this housing crap. Now, the reason why I am one of the main reasons why I am perfectly okay with staying here in Indiana as opposed to going back to Alabama. One of the reasons why I refuse to move to states like the Carolinas or Tennessee or Florida or any of these other states that are trendy is because wherever I live, I gotta be able to live below my means. That way I will be able to set aside a certain amount of money out of each paycheck for that rainy day fund. I'll be able to invest a little bit of money every month. That way when things get real and I need that money, it's there, it's available. Rather it be for home repairs, rather it be for maybe the co-pay for a doctor's appointment, something goes wrong with the car, anything like that. Something goes wrong with the house. You guys get the idea. And also, there's also been a uptick in the homeless population, just like there was during the last recession, the recession of '08. Now this time, there tends to be a 84% increase of senior citizens, people aged 55 plus, that are becoming or have become homeless the last couple of years, give or take. And when I listen to those type of stories, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm only, I'm only 11 years away from being 55 myself. And when I look at some of these people that are older, that are homeless, I'm thinking, well, back when they were my age, they was out here working, paying taxes. Some of them were out here living a decent life. They had nice stuff, nice house, nice cars, the whole 9 yards. So when I look at this situation, I look at my situation, and I believe in being proactive as opposed to just being reactive. So with me being proactive, I try to live my life while I'm younger, while I'm still healthy enough to work, to where I live below my means. That way when I get older, I don't have to worry about living in a van because I don't have any money to be able to afford traditional housing. That's why I want to say about, that's why back in 2017, I paid off the mortgage to the house that I used to own at that particular moment. That's why moving on forward, whenever I buy a house, I only buy houses that I am able to pay cash for. I do not use mortgages on houses. When I buy my vehicles, I don't take out car notes. I purchase older vehicles so where I can just cut a check and buy the car and pay cash. So as a result of living like that, I prevent myself from being in tons of debt, and B, I tend to drive older cars, and my houses are older. The neighborhoods I live in are older. And that's just what it is. And I don't mind that because I'd rather have that extra money to where I can set aside and put it in investments. So when that rainy day comes to where I need some of that money, it will be available. I'm not going to have to utilize credit cards. I'm not gonna have to take out any mortgages on. I'm not gonna have to take out no reverse mortgage or second mortgage or any of that type of nonsense on any of my properties. I'll be able to borrow money for myself, so to speak, as opposed to borrowing money from a bank. And I try to, like the way I live my life, I try to set myself up to where when I do get older, I will not have to worry about becoming homeless. I understand anything can happen at any time to anybody. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't get it, because I do. But my attitude is I try to control the controllables. Now, some of these elderly people that you're seeing that are becoming homeless at an alarming rate, let's just be honest. A lot of them were most likely living beyond their means back when they were younger. They neglected to invest any of their money. They neglected to set anything aside for the future. And for those that may have been a homeowner at once, they probably overindulged and bought and purchased too much home, as opposed to buying something that made sense to where they could pay off their mortgage in 15 years. So when I look at some of these people that are older than me, that are homeless, I try to I look at their experience, and to me, it's a learning tool for myself. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel bad for these people, and it shouldn't be like that. I mean, at the rate that our government is throwing money and resources at everybody else, there should be not one single person in the United States homeless. But unfortunately, there are. And unfortunately, none of our elected officials on either side of the fence are going to do anything to help any of us at any time. But obviously, as we all know, they're going to still continue to take taxes out of our paycheck. They're going to still continue to make sure that we pay the right amount of taxes, forcing us to have to file taxes every year. But if any of us, tax-paying citizens, get caught up in a situation to where we can no longer afford the bare essentials, as many of you realize, we're going to be out here in these streets freezing and hungry and thirsty. Ain't nobody going to care about you. So, with all that being said, if you're not living below your means, you need to start living below your means as soon as you can. Now, money's tight for many of you, I get it. But whatever it is that you have to do legally and realistically, you need to go ahead and think of what that might be. And you need to set yourself up to where you're no longer living within your means, you're no longer living beyond your means, but you're living below your means. Because we live in a very cold society out here where, as I said a second ago, none of our elected officials could care two shits about any of us. And I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. Now, clearly, my message today was not positive. So if you were looking for a positive message, my apologies. I'm a realist, and sometimes I'm going to make videos like this because I try to keep it real with you folks. So that's all I'm going to say for now. So everybody have a blessed day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, I got one more thing to share with you guys. For those of you that are looking to purchase a home, however it is you want to live your life, whether it be buying a home or renting an apartment or living the nomadic life, however it is you want to live your life, make sure that at the end of the day, you're living below your means. Now, not within your means. Definitely not above your means, but below your means. So living below your means you have to do like what I do. You have to live up here in Indiana as opposed to living in Florida. Then that's what you do. Because it would be in your best interest that you did that. And I think you guys get the idea. So I just wanted to come back and give you that message real quick. All right, folks, check you later.